Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Viewpoint edition for NXT Takeover 30 of the Talking Crap podcast. I'm not joined by Jazzy Josh at the moment. He is on holiday this week, so he has been sending in his predictions by video, which will be the end of this video. But I'm joined by a lovely co-host, the winner of the first season of the Pipe Bomb Promo Challenge. I'm joined by Vinny Daniels.
Always a pleasure to be on the Smoking Crack podcast. It's an honour to fill in for Jazzy Josh. I am conscious of the fact that he's got a big fan base and they're going to be missing him talking about sheds. So, with that said, I've got 3 shed facts for you because I feel like it's what the people want.
Yeah, please give it to us.
The word shed actually originates from the Anglo-Saxon word for shade. So there's that. Fact number 2, over 60% of Brits have a shed and 17% of them say they'd live in their shed.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, there's some weird people who would, especially after a rough night maybe on the town.
My cousin practically lived in here, but to be fair, he was growing marijuana in it, so there we go.
That's what we like to hear on the Smoking Crack podcast. And finally, fact number 3, 1/3 of Brits say that their shed has a positive effect on their relationship.
Yeah, probably because the woman kicks them out. Kicks the guy out every few weeks and goes pissed off in the shed. Well, there we are. So Champagne Charlie, I want a random fact from you then. Vinny Daniels giving some facts, so let's see if you can about anything this can be. Your other guest, of course, for today.
Oh, you've really put me on the spot here.
Any random fact that you think?
Okay. On occasion, some species of frog have the ability to change sex whenever they please in order to help with breeding populations.
Okay, that's actually quite an interesting fact. There we go. Well, look, NXT. Not a brand that I think myself or Vinny watch much of. I've been keeping up to date with some of the keyboard warrior stuff that's been going on the internet. We've got 4 matches though to talk about. And we'll begin with the women, as it's the most straightforward match, really. You've got the NXT Women's Champion, Io Shirai. She's defending against Dakota Kai. Obviously, Io Shirai, she won the Women's Championship at the last NXT event, in the main event, in a very solid match featuring Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. So this is her first takeover title defense. So we'll start with you then, Champagne Charlie. What do you think?
Well, with Io Shirai, I think it's because this is her first takeover title defense. I don't think they're in any hurry to take this from her, and because they're really building her as a very dominant champion here. So that's why I think Io Shirai will win it by pinfall. That's my opinion anyway.
Okay, Io Shirai by pinfall. What about you, Vinny?
Yeah, you don't get to beat Charlotte and Rhea and then drop the belt straight away, so there's no way she's losing the belt. And also, who the fuck is Dakota Kai? Who the fuck is that guy?
I know we've got some really random people in the NXT Women's Division lately, but I think Dakota Kai, she's been quite strong. I'm also going for Io as well. I don't see why they're going to just remove the belt, first defense. So next up is the ladder match for the vacant NXT North American Championship. Now, for this one, at the moment, we are recording before this week's edition of NXT takes place. There's 2 matches that have spots available still, and so we're going to go into that as well. So we will do that prediction first, as those matches will happen first. So what we've got a match between Johnny Gargano and Ridge Holland. And then Finn Balor is facing the American Dream. He's not the Velveteen Dream. So there's 2 matches taking place, I believe, on this week's NXT on Wednesday. And those 2 people will then join the other 4 participants in the ladder match. The current ladder match participants are Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes. Yeah, and that's it. There's 5 people in the ladder match. So 3 have already qualified. So I'll start with you this time, Vinny. So who are your predictions for the matches of this week, which are Gargano versus Ridge Holland and Finn Balor versus Velveteen Dream?
Gargano, definitely, because I don't even know who the other guy is versus. Ridge Holland? Who?
Ridge Holland, yeah.
Ridge Holland, something like that.
Who's that guy?
I've
so that'd be Gargano. Yeah, Balor Velveteen. I know Velveteen's kind of a big deal, but I don't see Balor losing that. So I think it'll be Gargano and Balor qualify.
Interesting. How about you, Champagne?
I fully agree with Vinny because Gargano is a much bigger draw than this.
Because you're a clever man.
And
only
also,
silly men disagree with me.
And also, they've been showing a bit of a light, I think, on Finn Balor recently, and I don't think they've done feeding Velveteen Dream shit because of the accusations that he had. So for that reason, Finn Balor and Gargano to go on into the match.
Okay, I agree with Gargano. I think it'd be kind of silly having this kind of match without him in it. I think other way. I think they might have Dream. I think he's just returned, isn't he? Which just gets me curious. I don't see why they're making return. And also, with there only being 4 matches announced for the event, I'm thinking that Finn Balor might end up in another match anyway. Or Dream could as well, though, to be fair. But yeah, just because let's break this tie a little bit. Yeah, I'll go with Dream over Balor. Right. So then the actual match then. So obviously, just bear in mind you have to depend on who you've just picked in that scenario if you're going to pick them. So you've got Bronson Reed, Damian Priest, Cameron Grimes, and then either Johnny Gargano or Ridge Holland, or Finn Balor or Velveteen Dream. It's a ladder match. It's for the vacant North American Championship, which I believe Johnny Gargano has held, isn't he?
Yeah.
There is that. That's which somewhat matters. And Cameron Grimes, he hasn't held a championship yet, nor has Damian Priest or Bronson Reed. So there's quite a few things up for grabs potentially here. Start with you then, Vinny. Who do you think?
I'm gonna go out on a whim here, and I'm gonna go Damian Priest.
Ooh.
I just think he's had a good showing of himself the past few months. And I think it's a good chance for him to maybe have the NXT mid-card title, if you like, and maybe see what he can do as a champion before they look further at him, see how he handles the pressure.
Yeah, I mean, he lost to Balor, didn't he, last time?
Yeah, but he looked really good. He looked really good losing.
There was a lot of good reception from him.
I just think, Balor doesn't need the belt. Gargano doesn't need the belt. If Velveteen Dream's in the match, he doesn't need the belt. And I think of the people in there, he'll be the one that could benefit the most from it and really, show what he can do.
Fair enough. Champagne.
Well, here's what I think. Because I said I think Finn Balor's going to go through to it, and because I said they've been showing a light on him in this division recently, I think Finn Balor will be the one to win the North American title, because since he's been on the up and down for the last couple of years, and with him returning to NXT, I think they're really trying to build him up, because the main roster screwed him up big time. They really screwed him up. So I think this is a good opportunity to get him not at the top, but just on par with a firm positioning. So I think that's why I think he'll win it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to go out on the whim here as well, like Vinny did. As while I think that if a combination of Balor, Dream, Gargano, whichever 2 or 1, I guess, qualifies for that match, while they are kind of like the kind of default safe answers, I do feel they've thrown in Cameron Grimes and Damian Priest as kind of ones that you don't know, and
wild cards, that kind of
wild
thing.
cards. Yeah, that's the correct term. Thank you. And while Vinny, you've gone for Damian Priest, I'm gonna go for Cameron Grimes. I think he's got a good look. He's got a good promo on him, which I believe, in my opinion, I mean, I don't watch much of NXT, but the last time I did watch NXT, he was someone to me who stood out, and someone when I saw him do promos, I was like, actually, this is the guy who probably needs a bit more than what he's got at the moment. I believe Damian Priest losing to Balor, that could be a setup for a title win. But I'm going to go for Grimes. So we've all gone for something different in that one, which is quite interesting. But I do think that NXT have got good success with ladder matches. Both tag and the one they did for the... it was a debut one, wasn't it, for the North American Championship with Ricochet in and that, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Ricochet won that one.
Yeah, so they've had a good track record with ladder matches. And even on the first ever NXT, wasn't a takeover back then, was it? It was an NXT Arrival, wasn't it? It was Bo Dallas versus Adrian Neville. And there's Pac for AEW. So yeah, they had quite a good success with them, I'd say. So hopefully it's a good match. It should be the match of the night, I believe. Next comes probably the most controversial match, I guess, of the card, as you've got Adam Cole. Baby. He's taken on Pat McAfee. And this obviously started.
Pat McAfee.
He's a commentator. They did the angle. I don't know if you saw the clip a few weeks ago when they done like a worked kind of skit.
This is kind of like a match every time when Jerry Lawler had a fight with someone who was on an active roster. That kind of is the kind of
it seems that way, yeah. Like they did like a worked thing where Adam Cole was being interviewed by Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee's like a former NFL player and correspondent. Now he's a commentator and pre-show analyst for WWE for NXT events. He's a guy who wears shorts. He got told up by Michael Cole for wearing shorts on WrestleMania, but it's part of his.
Yeah.
But anyway, he got a radio show, and on the radio show, Adam Cole, appeared.
Oh, I saw
and did
this.
the whole kind of walking out, storming out thing, and attacked the producer.
Okay, yeah, I know who this is.
Yeah.
I'm worried this is gonna be like a Bam Bam Bigelow, Lawrence Taylor kind of thing.
From everything I could gather from this, Pat McAfee is a big wrestling fan, and he's shown a lot of respect to the business. And he's shown a lot of respect to the business, and they've been wanting to do something with him for quite some time. So we could end up with a Stephen Amell situation. I mean, he was an athlete before. He's young. He's not like he's old, whatever. He's in decent-ish shape. So we could end up with a Stephen Amell situation where he was just really good, wasn't he? And could have actually just been a wrestler, but obviously decided to do Arrow still. But yeah, it seems like it's the big angle. It closed NXT last week with them two having a pull-apart brawl, and with Pat McAfee doing a punt kick to Adam Cole. And it's a feud which Jim Cornette has been very vocal to be against.
Well, of course, Jim Cornette. Why is Jim Cornette not vocal about anything? I mean, come on. This is the man who openly said that he's wanting to outlive Vince Russo so he can piss on his grave. So yeah.
It's true, but I think this is one of those where it's one of those headline grabbers. It's so weird for an NXT event to do
publicity as well. So
because obviously they never really do this. They've changed their format, I think, the last two shows. But anyway, so let's start with you then, Champagne. Then Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee.
Well, listen, I'm not against people branching out into different, sports, that kind of thing. I mean, otherwise because you get people like Ken Shamrock who started doing UFC but then went into wrestling, or you would have someone like, as you said, Stephen Amell, who was an actor going into wrestling as well. So I'm not against someone branching into a field, but I think like the common wrestling rookie, someone who's new to wrestling should be able to earn their way in. So that is for that reason, being the wrestling purist that I am, I think Adam Cole's going to win this one.
Yeah,
that's just on a whole wrestling Puritan's stake in it.
Yeah, so that's fair enough. Fair enough, Vinny.
I'd say I don't care. Is that a prediction?
I guess.
I mean, yeah, probably Adam Cole. But then who cares? Not me.
Yeah, I know for me and Vinny, we're not NXT people. But I think I'm always interested when they do something like this because it could surprise us, potentially, like seeing someone new, I guess. And it's very different for NXT. Oh, Champagne Charlie living the gimmick. There's not champagne, though. It should be called red wine. There's some Vino there, isn't it?
Yeah. It's still Vino, you know what I mean?
I guess being on furlough, isn't it? It's probably.
Yeah. Champagne Charlie and Vino Vinny.
Vino Vinny. So yeah, finally then, the NXT titles on the line as Keith Lee is taking on Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross, obviously, I don't think he's lost on NXT since he debuted.
No, undefeated so far.
Undefeated? Okay, that's good on him. So he's going in undefeated against Keith Lee, who obviously was Keith 2 belts, but obviously vacated one of the belts.
Yeah, vacated one, so.
North American. So yeah, let's start then. Vinny, who do you think? Keith Lee or Karrion Kross?
Yeah, Keith Lee, the big boy, the big strong boy. Yeah. I mean, I don't know who the other dude is. Like, I don't really follow NXT anymore, and it's like, he used to be good.
Karrion Kross is Killer Kross, from used to be on Impact.
No. Yeah, no, it's
yeah, no, fair enough.
Keith Lee in it. The other guy I haven't heard of.
Look, I think with
NXT, it used to be like NXT had like a really stacked roster. He's like, oh, that guy's still a big deal, like from top to bottom. But now it's just like you got Gargano, you got Balor, you got Keith Lee, and past that, it's just a bit like.
I kind of see where you're coming from, Vinny. This is why I'm more of an AEW fan, really. But
fuck AEW, that's even worse.
Well, we shall be doing AEW.
They've got a fucking wrestling dinosaur. What's that about?
I don't know. I like
so fuck you.
Well, look, let's not fight, lady. Let's not fight.
Yeah, come on, yeah. We'll save that for when we get back to shows. So.
NXT title then for you then, Champagne. What do you think?
Okay, here's what I think. Because I know who Karrion Kross is. I see him on the Indies and his time in Impact Wrestling when he was Killer Kross. And because they're kind of booking him as this big force to be reckoned with. But Keith Lee is also a force to be reckoned with as well as champion. So it's like two types.
Irresistible force and the immovable object.
I don't think. Yeah, exactly. I don't think there's going to be a clear winner. I think this is going to be end in some sort of either double disqualification or no contest. Just something that builds a feud a little bit more, I think. So that's what I think is going to happen.
So are you saying... who are you saying winning? Are you saying no contest or
no contest? I'm saying no contest.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm similar with you, Champion. Well, I'm thinking I don't think they're going to just mug Cross's undefeated streak off, especially as there's not much, in my opinion. Again, like I know there's fans of NXT. I don't want to obviously
not much else going on,
but there's not much going on, is what I feel, and I feel a bit like they shouldn't really ruin that.
So you remember what they done with Asuka, right?
Yeah, but that wasn't the main roster, though, at least.
The whole streak started in NXT. They don't give a fuck.
I'm going to go with Cross winning, but again, some sort of shenanigans or something like that, like maybe a count out or something like that, which again will be very weird for NXT, but this card seems very weird to me, where they're doing obviously like celebrity involved.
And very small as well.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously we are recording this before this, which NXT goes out, so they could obviously add NXT Cruiserweight Championship match or maybe like a tag match, something like that. There's no Undisputed Era on, which is very odd, obviously, for NXT Takeover, apart from Adam Cole, sorry. But there's no others on, so could add some more. But at the moment, that's where we're at. So we made our predictions. They're in. They're signed or delivered. At the end of this video, we're going to have some from Porter. And we'll add them all on and we'll put them on the Talking Crap podcast. And don't forget to check out our SummerSlam video for predictions, as that's where the meet and grave of the weekend's coming in. And we shall be doing more episodes of the Talking Crap podcast. Coming up at Champagne Charlie on the 29th, you'll be featured along with Priscilla on the part 2 of our Chris Jericho Les Champions episode. And Vinny Daniels, we will hope to see you very soon on the podcast. Till then, I've been the live coach Lucas Jackson. I've been joined, of course, by Vinny Daniels and by Champagne Chai. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we shall see you for SummerSlam prediction soon.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Hey, what's up, guys? It is Jazzy Josh here in beautiful, sunny Mersey Island in Colchester. I'm here to give you my predictions for NXT Takeover 30. Seeing as I wasn't on the Viewpoint this week due to connectivity issues. So first off, we've got Bronson Reed versus Damian Priest versus Cameron Grimes versus Johnny Gargano versus Ridge Holland versus Finn Balor or Velveteen Dream for the NXT North American Championship in a ladder match. That was a mouthful and a half. For this one, I'm probably going to have to give it to Bronson Reed, just because he's been on such a winning streak recently. He's been quite dominant on NXT, and you don't really hear enough of him. I would give it to Ridge Holland, because he's brand new on NXT, over from NXT UK, and has just kind of smashed onto the scene, going straight into a ladder match for the North American title. So yeah, at the end of the night, I'm going to give it to Bronson Reed. I think it'll be Velveteen Dream will be in the match, as opposed to Finn Balor. Next up, we've got Io Shirai versus Dakota Kai for the NXT Women's Championship. I'm going to have to go with Io Shirai, as much as I love Dakota Kai. I just don't think Shirai will be losing it anytime soon. Right. Next up, we've got Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee. This one I'm a little bit annoyed about, because Adam Cole's been the longest reigning NXT champion in history, and suddenly he's going up against a punter from the NFL. But, oh well, I'm going Adam Cole. Next up, we've got Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship match. I really don't know with this one. I honestly haven't got a clue, but I'm going to go with Keith Lee, simply because I don't want him to lose the title yet. Although, it would make more sense for Karrion Kross to take it, considering he's on a winning streak currently. But yeah, I'm going to go Keith Lee. I'm pretty confident Keith Lee will keep the title. Well, that's it for NXT 30, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take it easy.